Hello, it's Dr. Rhonda Johnson, and today is Thursday, October 7th, 2021. Today, I'm speaking to Black and Brown people across the United States. This message is for you. Now, I'm going to talk about some numbers, and I'm going to go back a little bit in time. So, I'll start with a visit to a year ago. On October 3rd, 2020, I recorded a video. And at that time, and the numbers were in mid-September 2020, 1 in 1020 Black Americans had died of COVID. That's of mid-September 2020. In January 2021, I recorded another video directed to Black men. In that video, the numbers were COVID had killed 1 out of every 800 Black people. Fast forward, September 2021. The statistics show that the number continues to advance. The CDC did a study, and they looked at disparities, that's differences, in COVID deaths by race and ethnicity in the United States. And here's what the numbers now show. 1 in every 480 Blacks, 1 in every 390 Hispanics, and a horrifying 1 in every 240 indigenous people has been killed by COVID-19. In contrast, 1 in 1,300 white and Asian Americans have lost their lives to COVID-19. It's quite a difference from a year ago. 1 in 120, 1 in 1,020 to 1 in 480. Now, this is not related, but let's just compare some numbers. According to the Lottery USA, the odds of winning the Mega Million jackpot are 1 in 302.6 million. And the odds of winning the Powerball jackpot are 1 in 292 million. But yet, 1 in 480 Blacks have died. 1 in 390 Hispanics have died. And 1 in 240 Native Americans have been killed by COVID-19. How low is this going to go? How long? How low? And how long is this going to go on? So the CDC in August 20th, 2021, in their weekly morbidity and mortality reports, further looked at this alarming disparity in deaths by age cohorts, by age groups. And among people aged 25 years and under in 2020, now this was before the Delta variant, under 25, Black people had the highest excess deaths. Among adults 25 to 64, the highest excess deaths were among American Indians, Alaska Natives, followed by Black people, Native Hawaiian, Pacific Islander, Hispanic, white, and Asian people. Among adults aged 65 and older, the largest excess deaths were seen in Black and Hispanic people. So the takeaway message, folks, there's only one thing you need to remember, is that Black and brown people keep dying excessively from COVID-19. Yet in our communities, people continue to spread lies and misinformation to prevent vaccination and use of basic preventive measures. So I have a bit of advice. Resist, resist, resist. Resist these efforts to deceive you, Black and brown people. And no matter what the source, if it comes from celebrities, if it's coming from healthcare professionals, if it's coming from ordinary people, if it's coming from preachers or religious leaders, resist efforts to be deceived that the vaccine is going to harm you. Ask any healthcare professional who's treating people who's dying, the unvaccinated, The CDC says they're dying at a rate of 11 times higher than vaccinated people. You don't have to be a mathematician to understand these numbers. Now, I've seen a lot of misinformation videos. I know they're very scary. If I watched them, I'd be scared to death sometime if I believed them. But I know they're not true. I've heard the different messages on the social media apps. You know, the kind when you listen in the room. I've read the newspapers sold by the people who wear the suits and bow ties and stand on the corner in black communities. There are so many efforts to misinform black, brown, and indigenous and low-income communities, and the result is nothing short of deadly. So in closing, I want to encourage people to get their COVID-19 shot as soon as you can. Now, what shot should you get if you're unvaccinated? I won't tell you what to get, but I will tell you a report published recently by the CDC, which showed that the overall effectiveness, this means that how effective is it at keeping you from severe disease, severe hospitalization, or dying, was highest amongst Moderna recipients, followed by Pfizer and Johnson & Johnson. And since we're talking numbers here, the number was 92% for Moderna, effectiveness overall 77% for Pfizer, and 65% for Johnson & Johnson. Now, I got Moderna vaccination, and I got COVID as a breakthrough case. So I'm being fully transparent. None of these vaccines might not keep you from getting COVID, because COVID is here, there, and everywhere. But what they do, and I'm certainly a living example of that, living proof, is that they greatly reduce your risk of dying. And after all, if you're 6 feet under, you don't live to tell a story. So get your COVID shot. And if you're eligible for a booster, get your booster shot when your time comes. In closing, black and brown people, we're being hit hard from COVID-19. We are still dying excessively. And up ahead are Thanksgiving and Christmas holiday celebrations. Please be an example. Encourage your friends and family to get vaccinated. We have to continue this war against misinformation amongst black and brown people. We got to stop running away from the reality of COVID and face this enemy and save our family members and our friends. That's my message today. As always, my views are my own. Stay safe, folks, and have a blessed day.